Good evening and welcome to Capital Markets. I'm Temple Ashaju, and thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be a part of your weekend this time. Just as we start the program, you may wish to share your thoughts. Please take advantage of that on our handles at Twitter, at Channels TV, and at CTV Temple. Now let's start the show proper. As we told you last week, the National Bureau of Statistics this week released the nation's third quarter 2017 GDP report, which expectedly showed an expansion in the economy for the second consecutive quarter. Now, total output in the economy grew 1.4% year-on-year in the period. That's although below Bloomberg consensus, as well as domestic analyst research projections of 1.5% to 2.7%. Again, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee held its sixth and final meeting for 2017 on Monday and Tuesday. The outcome of the meeting was released on Tuesday, and in line with consensus expectations, committee members overwhelmingly voted to retain policy rates at current levels while emphasizing on the need to consolidate on gains in external balance and domestic price stability. And here's a reminder now of the unchanged policy parameters. Again, the MPR was held at 14%, the CRR was held at 22.5%, and liquidity ratio was retained at 30%, while the asymmetric corridor was retained at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the MPR. We'll be getting analysis on how these developments impacted the market shortly. But before that, let's look at how the numbers from the various segments of the markets came in this weekend. And as usual, we'll begin with the unlisted securities market. That refers to the NASD OTC. And the unlisted securities index of that platform came in at 600.70 points. That's with a decline of 0.4%, having shared or moved away from the 603.34 points that it recorded in the preceding week. For the market capitalization of that market, it dropped by the same margin from 408.30 billion naira to 406.30 billion naira. In terms of company's performance, WAMCO, CSCS, which is the Central Securities Clearing System, as well as Afriland, had the best performance in terms of volume and value. Let's shift gears to the equities markets, where the impressive close of trades on Friday at the Nigerian stock market by 185 basis points lifted the market into the green for the week after a mixed trading week with strong positive closes across key sectors and consistently positive market breadth at the week close. All share index appreciated by 1.80%, while the market capitalization hits 13 trillion naira. In terms of volume, the market did 2.182 billion units of shares, while the total value of that figure came in at 22.795 billion naira. And all that took place in the transactions of 17,019. That's all for this week. Let's look at the sectoral indices, where we've got the banking sector doing well by 0.45% this week. Insurance sector also did excellently well, as well as the consumer goods sector, which had 1.88% movement. The best of performance came in against the industrial goods sector, which had 2.26% movements, except for the oil and gas sector, which had 1.45% negative movement. Let's get a bit of the fixed income market now, and starting with the bonds market. We've got the bond market starting the week quite positive as further details around the impending Eurobond issue spurred demand. Trading, however, turned mixed at midweek as investors traded cautiously amidst the monthly bond auction on Wednesday. Demand retained healthy at week close as yields on benchmark bonds declined by 22 92 basis points on average. With the numbers you have on the screen coming for Friday's trading on the FMDQ OTC, those numbers apparently represent the kind of sentiment that we saw generally in the markets, where total deals came in at 92. That is rare in recent time. Total value came in at 10.77 billion naira. That is in terms of the bonds markets, the secondary side of things at the FMDQ OTC. Let's take a look at the treasury bills markets. We are trading in the treasury bills market was mixed at the start of the week amidst the 60 billion naira open market operations auction. Sentiments turned positive as the week progressed, with 201 billion naira OMO maturity on Thursday, further boosting liquidity. Also noteworthy was the lower rates at the OMO auction conducted subsequently, that is on Thursday and Friday, with the stop rates on the longer dated bill moderating to 17.70% and 17.65% respectively. The close buy sentiment remained predominant, with yields moderating 44 basis points on the average. And that's also reflected in what we saw at the FMDQ OTC secondary markets, where we find total deals topping 400, precisely 463, while total value came in at 130.61 billion naira. In terms of bonds and treasury bills transactions, the grand total of the deals was 555, while total value was 141.384 billion naira.